Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul, and for today's video, we're gonna be taking a look at some of my recent pickups, things that just arrived, and some items that, in my opinion, are pretty egregiously slept on and underrated. Now, on a personal note, if you do follow me on Instagram, then you probably already know that my wife and I just got pregnant. So if you do decide to stay to the duration of this video, I do want to open up a little bit and kind of let you know what this next chapter looks like, what God's doing in our lives, but absolutely no obligation to stick around. With that being said, let's go ahead and talk about some of these first garments here, or items I should say. Let's go ahead and take a look at some samples that just came in. We do have some brand new samples from Locust&WildHoney clothing. If you guys aren't familiar, I do have a clothing brand entitled Locust&WildHoney clothing, essentially making the things that I personally want in my wardrobe, such as this heavyweight 550 GSM French Terry vintage washed zip up. Nothing but good stuff here. Just listen to that zipper pull, heavyweight, and we got the cross zipper pull, which is a nod to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But anyways, I digress. I did want to show you guys some samples that did just arrive. After very, very popular request for the spring and summer months, we are going to be... Oops, it just jumped right out. I'll just go ahead and take it out here. So we are going to be releasing the Grace bracelet in gold. I know many of you guys have been asking for gold variants since the release of the silver one that you guys have been enjoying since the release. As a matter of fact, this one is sold out a couple times since we made it. And to pair with the gold bracelet, we've got the gold Grace necklace. Oh my goodness, did this come out absolutely beautiful. And again, yes, we do have a silver one if you're unfamiliar. This one sold out 7 times total now. We have one more item here, which I have been keeping under wraps. This has been in development for quite some time. You guys probably knew that I was working on the gold, but I did go ahead and produce the Crown of Thorns Cuban inspired bracelet, as well as a necklace. The necklace is still in development, but the bracelet came out absolutely stunning. The goal for this is to just go ahead and stack and layer. That's been a really cool look as of late, something I've been doing personally for years. And so whether you stack the bracelet or you stack the Cuban with necklace, you will have options there. But yeah, man, very, very excited for this one. You guys let me know what you guys think in the comments below. On wrist, man, this looks so tough. Can't wait to drop this one. Now, mind you, this is just a small sample size of what's to come. We have plenty of products in development right now. And so if you're interested, if you don't want to miss out when this stuff actually drops, you want all the info, make sure to follow LWH Clothing on Instagram so you don't miss out. Now, moving on, I did want to just jump straight into one of the most highly slept on items, in my opinion, of the year. And no, this is not a candidate for sneaker of the year. I feel like that term has been kind of loosely thrown around and is a bit hyperbolic, if I were to say so. This shoe could easily be shoe of the summer, and these are none other than the Jordan 1 Low Rookie of the Year, as it is being named on the streets. Guys, this shoe is so grossly slept on. The color blocking is just excellent. I mean, outside of just the OG colors, name a better colorway than this. Of course, that's not a collab. These look so sick on the toe. They pair very nicely with all types of shorts, workwear shorts, nylon shorts, denim shorts. Regardless of what you throw at these shoes, they're gonna look excellent. And overall, I feel like this shoe is just so underrated. I haven't even talked about the materials because it is made from a very nice tumble leather, which is a nod to the original Rookie of the Years that dropped back in, I wanna say 2018. A shoe that I really enjoyed as well. Now that I come to think about it, I wore those a lot back in the day. I really love that color blocking, which is probably why I like these so much. Now, one thing that I did do with my highs is that I swapped the laces out. Unfortunately for the lows, they don't come with any extra laces, but despite that fact, I did want to go ahead and show you what they would look like with a cream pair, because for me personally, if I don't go for like a very loud pair of laces on the sneakers, like where it highly contrasts, I tend to go ahead and just match the laces to the tongue just for a cleaner aesthetic. So go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below which laces look better. But yeah, man, this is a great pair of shoes. If you can get these for retail, go ahead and pick them up. You won't be disappointed. All right, and so this next few bunch of pieces does come from the Locust&WildHoney Facebook group. If you guys have yet to join, go ahead and hit the link below. This is an extension of the channel where myself as well as some moderators all come together to run a community for buy, sell, trade, sharing outfits, and encouraging one another in whatever it is. And the people are so dope. Go ahead and check out the links below because you'll be able to get some really great deals that do include this Arc'teryx beanie, which I did purchase for, I believe it was $25. One of the guys in the groups is the Arc'teryx plug. And also, I'm sure you guys see the ads all the time for like the Yeezy Gap stuff that is selling for dirt cheap. This is one of those situations. Somebody in the group has a plug to Yeezy Gap stuff, so I went ahead and picked up a hoodie for, I believe it was like $30, and it is made from a polar fleece material. And the dude was so gracious to send me the matching sweatpants as well. I'm telling you guys, this is an amazing group of people. But anyways, I actually have not opened it, as you can see. So let's go ahead and see how this one looks. So what we have here is a pretty nicely weighted, heavyweight fleece. Should I throw it on? I think I'm gonna throw it on. It's a nice weight. I'm very surprised. This is really warm. It's like a polar fleece. Fits great. It actually fits great, dude. So this is actually size large, and I was a bit hesitant. Now that I come to think of it, it does fit very similar to the double layer hoodies from Yeezy Gap. Ooh, I'm so happy. For 30 bucks. For 30 bucks? Okay, let's just go ahead and throw on the beanie. Go full hype beast with it. Guys, whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, as long as you got the fit, you got everything you need. No personality, no problem. You know? All right, that was so stupid. I'm done. Last thing I wanted to show you is this vintage Bulls tee that I picked up from the Facebook group. I think I paid 35 bucks for a beautiful fade, slightly oversized. And because it is now a slightly spring, almost summer-ish, it's time to break out the t-shirts. And I just figured I'd pick this one up. Now, speaking of the summertime, I did pick up a few pieces from Stussy. The first one being this mesh shirt. And unlike the other mesh shirts, which in my opinion, don't necessarily serve the function of like keeping you somewhat cool because of ventilation, this one here actually does that job because the mesh here is much more wide. If that makes sense. I guess the circumference of the circles that comprises mesh, it's like bigger. So heat easily escapes, it easily diffuses from you. I think I paid $120, $140 for this one, and I think it's still currently available on the website. And just, yeah, a very nice fitting piece, I would have to say. For you guys who are like myself that like to pair cropped pieces with like baggier pants like these ones here, should be good to go. Really pleased with this purchase. And as I mentioned, this one does diffuse heat very nicely, perfect for the summertime because here in Southern California, summers don't mess around. I probably wouldn't do a t-shirt underneath, it'd probably be a ribbed tank top. That probably goes without saying, but thought I'd let you know. Next up, I did pick up this very simple, I think it's called the Lazy Tee, which I think this is pretty appropriately named. Just a t-shirt where if I don't want to like think about what I'm doing, say I'm wearing something a bit more casual, just some denim, maybe a cap or something like that, maybe a louder pair of sneakers, this will be a go-to t-shirt, just a simple, basic. What I like about this piece is it does have the slub knit exposure, which is something I did actually with my brand Locust&WildHoney, the perfect vintage tee. So that just goes to show you, not only do I make the stuff I like, I also buy the stuff I like. But yeah, overall pretty subdued t-shirt. You have branding here at the front, it's very subtle. All right, so I got one more piece from Stussy to show you. Don't call me crazy, but I did actually pick up this waffle knit double layer hoodie, which absolutely contradicts everything I spoke about it getting really hot here in Southern California. But I did get this, I want to say it was like 2.5 weeks ago, and it was raining out here, so being a prisoner of the moment that I went ahead and picked this one up. It's actually a pretty nice piece. It's pretty well made, and I do like the way that this one fits. But yes, while it's still moderately temperate, I'm gonna enjoy this piece as much as I can before the blistering heat of summer comes in and I have to send this one to the back of the closet. All right, so this next one I'm very excited about because this garment here is from my friend and fellow YouTuber Brand Flakes, and this is his first cut and sew piece. And if this is his first garment, man, he has such a bright future ahead. I love the details here. You've got a flannel that does have multiple types of patterns. I think this is so good. And I do believe every color here represents something that is personal to Brandon. Here we do have a slight logo here, which I heard was in reference to both his name because it kind of looks like a flake, kind of like Brand Flakes. But additionally, it's got a cross element to it as my brother is walking with the Lord. I love it. I love it all, and I love how this garment fits. He did send over a size medium for reference, and I think it fits fantastically. So it is springtime, so naturally it is going to get warmer, and inevitably we're gonna lean heavier into like graphic style tops, that of which are short sleeves. So for that reason, I did pick up this Acne Studios vintage wash embroidered piece. The material is really, really nice, almost reminiscent of like, I don't know, like a Ralph Lauren polo or like a Lacoste polo, but in the form of a t-shirt, as you can see. And because it is a changing of seasons, I was able to pick this one up on sale. But yeah, man, when it gets warmer, it's kind of tough to really like express yourself through clothing that's anything more than like t-shirts and graphic t-shirts and stuff like that. But moving on, we have here my new belt. Again, I did find it on sale. This one is actually by our Legacy. I picked up this thin braided leather belt because in a world where things get warmer, the only thing you could really do to like accentuate the fits is by accessorizing, and this is a really great way to go ahead and do so. I have no idea why I'm putting it on right now. I actually have a belt on as we speak. Next, we have a pickup from Adidas, and these are none other than the BW Army trainers. You guys may have seen my original video on these sneakers that were from 2017. That was the original pair. This is a brand new rendition of that aforementioned sneaker, and it was made so much better. I think the white pair is currently sold out, which I'm not mad about because I do have the Mason Margielas, so I decided to go ahead and pick them up in black. And guys, they really did their thing, remastering the BW Army trainer using what they're calling Luxe leather. And if I'm not mistaken, these are made in Germany. Not that that necessarily means anything, because at the end of the day, what does that really mean in light of all this TikTok stuff that's going on? But I digress. This is a fantastic take on an Army trainer. The quality is very excellent. The suede out top feels very, very plush, soft to touch. And then the leather used is equally as good. It does have a cracking effect to it, kind of leaning into that vintage aesthetic. You've got the gum sole there, and that essentially encapsulates the sneaker at that retail price of $120. This is a no-brainer pickup, at least in my opinion, and I can see this shoe being one that you guys will love during the summer months, especially in the white colorway. If you don't own the white colorway in the Margielas, these, or any other alternatives out there for an Army trainer, go ahead and pick them up. They're so good. I think they are my most worn shoe right now, and that will remain the case with the duration of summer. Very good shoe, highly recommend. 120 bucks, you can't go wrong. All right, so I do think I saved the best for last because I thought it would only be befitting to share with you some of the shorts that I recently picked up for the spring and summer months. And these shorts are awesome. They are so good. I will have them linked below as well as embedded in today's video. And if you use my code Paul20 at checkout, you could save 20%. But just look at these things, man. First up, we have these carpenter style work shorts. They are different from your typical style of work shorts, as they do have the carpenter detailing out front. You have the unique pocket there that I think is a really fire addition. You've got a beautiful fade to them, and they are made from fantastic quality cotton. This is like a heavyweight cotton, similar to what you'd get from like a pair of Dickies, but you do have this really sick design. So very, very stoked on this pickup. Next is a pair of jorts. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not a big fan of a lot of denim shorts out there. I personally have kind of steered away from them, but every now and again you will find a really, really good pair that fits good, that has enough details to where you can justify wearing them, and that is every bit the case here. I love the wash on these denim shorts. They do have like the leather patches out front that are adorned with silver and different jewels, and I just think it really is an overall really sick take on denim shorts. Now, I know this style is not going to be for everybody, but I'm personally a big fan of these. And these last pair of shorts are known as the mud shorts, also from mnml, and you do have that Rick Owens aesthetic. You've got the button zipper and drawstring detail out front, which I do think complements the olive nylon of these shorts. And what I love about these shorts is that they're actually really, really great quality. They have a nice weight to them, and I can tell these are gonna last really, really good. They're just such a sick pair of shorts, man. I do think that they do come in other colorways as well, but yeah, I had to go with the olive. I think this is a really good look, and that is going to do it for today's clothing haul. If you made it this far into today's video, go ahead and comment the phrase "baby, I'm back" to confuse some of the people out there watching, and because you stayed all the way through to the end of the video to talk about a little baby Noah, little baby Locust, who I just announced on my Instagram page. And guys, I have to say, I could not be more excited to be a dad. This next chapter of my life is going to be so significant, and I think it's going to be such a beautiful season. I've always wanted to be a dad, and that is so magnified and highlighted with the fact that not only is it gonna be half of me, but it's gonna be the other half of my favorite person ever, my wife, Gabriella. It's just the best, man. I'm so stoked, and God is so good, bro. So long story short, this was very intentional. As many of you guys know, we just got married, I want to say almost a year ago, but we did want to go ahead and conceive in February, which does align with both mine and my wife's work schedule. If you guys don't know, like myself, my wife does have her own business, and this was going to be the only way that we could do it to where it impacts our business the least, or else we would have to wait a little bit longer. But the Lord is gracious and compassionate, and we were able to conceive, and it's just awesome, man. Now, I do want to go ahead and be fully transparent with you. This is not going to be easy for me to kind of talk about because I'm a little bit ashamed of it myself, and there's not really too many things that could bring me shame. But yeah, man, this is a tough topic, and I kind of wrestled a bit if I was going to share this, but I do think that there are some of you that could be encouraged by it, and I do believe one of the most powerful ways God uses us is through the testimony of his saints. And so I'm going to go ahead and share it with you. I'm going to be vulnerable right now, which I have been quite a few times here on the channel, but the truth is I was praying for a girl. I pray every single day, and I was petitioning. I was like saying prayers like, Lord, let your will be done in all things. I'm subject to you always, Lord, but if my will can be any part of your decision making, Lord, please let it be a girl. Mind you, this was before we knew the gender of the baby. There's just something really cool to me about being a girl dad. I see some of my brothers, they have daughters as well, and it just looks like a lot of fun. Selfishly, it looks like a lot of fun. But before the gender reveal, when we realized that Noah was going to be Noah, I prayed that prayer, and after a few weeks of praying that, the Lord came to me in a dream. Bro, you guys are gonna think I'm so crazy. Anyways, I'm gonna tell you about the dream. So in the dream, it was me as a 9-year-old, and this is a true story. This actually happened when I was 9 years old. I played in this league called NJB. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but long story short, it's like basketball for little kids, like a league. And that practice, it was like a special thing. I think it was like during Father's Day. And all the dads were like coming through with the drills and rebounding for their sons and so on and so forth. And it was really great. It was a good and wholesome time. But I actually don't have a dad. He bounced out on me when I was a little boy, and that was a really traumatic experience for me. I wrestled a lot with oh man, this is hard to talk about. Wow, dude, this is actually kind of hard to talk about on camera. After that day, I wrestled a lot with self-worth. There was a moment where all the dads were like with their kids and everything, and I couldn't handle it. I went to the bathroom and I cried, and this was a reoccurring theme throughout my life into my 20s where I wrestled with my worth. Like, if my dad couldn't love me, I must be unlovable. And it was a whole thing, and I got saved, and God worked with me, through me, healed me, and gave me a real perspective of what it is to be a son of the King. Additionally, I've leaned so far into God, into the Holy Spirit, seeking his counsel at all times, and God's shown up. He's shown up in so many ways I can't even begin to mention, and I don't consider myself a victim by any stretch. But getting back into that dream, I was shooting around as my 9-year-old self, and nobody rebounding for me, so on and so forth. And then I left my body in the dream, and then I saw that 9-year-old like shooting by himself, and I approached him and I started rebounding for him. This is crazy, man. I audibly heard the Holy Spirit say to me, Paul, you're gonna be rebounding for Noah. You're going to be the dad that you had always longed for, that man that you always look towards. All the times you look to other people's dads or other examples of what it looks like to be a masculine man. You are going to be that and teach that to Noah, and Noah is going to be your healing. This next chapter, this next season, you've been primed for. You've been made for such a time as this. Noah is so special, and I entrust you to be all these things to this boy and serve this boy the way I know you can. And then God proceeded to tell me that I need to stop praying for a girl, that all the times I felt rejected by my dad, felt unworthy, unwanted, if you will, all these prayers, Noah hears them. That's what God said to me in the dream, that Noah hears them, and those same feelings that you felt of like rejection and stuff, that is the precedent that you're setting for Noah. And then I woke up from the dream, and bro, I was undone, absolutely undone. Needless to say, silly as it sounds, I repented for a prayer. So why'd I go ahead and tell you all this? I don't really know, But the truth is, God is alive. He is active. If you choose to pursue him, he might not always give you what you want, but he absolutely will give you what you need in accordance to his will. And so that is my encouragement to you. Just seek God, and he will make his ways known to you. He's so good. And though I'm unworthy to be a son to my biological father, I am worthy to be a son to the one true King of all of the galaxies, all of the universe. So seek him with all of your heart, all of your soul, all of your mind. He is so good, and he's very, very much so personal. Here I am yapping. Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Go ahead and check the links out into the description or embedded in today's video if you're interested in picking up any of these pieces. One thing I do suggest, get these. Get these, man. Trust, they're very, very good. I'll see you guys in the next video.